It's an important score. Everyone is anxious to know. That's why our TTCU app can help you improve your credit score. TTCU Federal Credit Union. Life is better in balance.
Life doesn't wait for you to slow down. When you're moving fast and something doesn't feel right, Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma is here to help you stay in motion. Through our combined expertise in orthopedic surgery, non-surgical medicine, and comprehensive whole patient treatment, our team has your back and every other joint too. Ready to get back out there? Visit AOOK.com and let's move forward together. Advanced Orthopedics of Oklahoma. Heal, recover, advance.
How much do you really know about insurance? I mean, you know you have to have it, right? And that your family should always be covered. Hi, Ryan Neely with Neely Insurance and Financial Services, the local expert in independent and commercial insurance. We're a third-generation independent agency representing many different insurance carriers, which means we work for you, not an insurance company, getting you the best coverage at the best rates since 1951. And a real person still answers the phone. Visit NeelyAgency.com for more information about us. It's that easy. Just give me a call at 918-341-0622 or visit NeelyAgency.com.
Say hello to the new Parent-Teacher Chat right in the Claremore Public Schools app. See district and school news and events, and now access classroom-specific announcements and Parent-Teacher Chat. Click Rooms in the bottom right to easily switch from district-wide and school-wide news to class streams and messaging. Once logged in, you can access your students' classes. The class stream is where you'll find updates from each teacher with their announcements and upcoming assignments. Click on Menu to access that class's stream, assignments, and messages. Easily send a message to the class teacher by clicking the plus button and typing their name. Switch to another class by clicking on Classes in the bottom left. Click School App on the bottom right while in Rooms to switch back to district and school news and events. To turn on push notifications for district, school, and classroom notifications, tap Settings and select Push Notifications. Say hello to Parent-Teacher Chat.
My name is Lieutenant Commander Carroll. I am the commanding officer of the Claremore NJROTC Corps of Cadets. On behalf of our Corps of Cadets, the Pride of Claremore High School Band, and our fantastic choir, we welcome you to the 2024 Patriot Day, 9/11 Remembrance, and Constitution Day ceremony. Would you please stand for the parading of the colors and remain standing for our national anthem, performed by our high school band. Company, attend, parade the colors. Company, present arms. Order, arms. Colors, post! Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Company, at ease! I would like to welcome our special guests and attendants who have joined us on the football field. Please give them a round of applause. Before we begin our ceremony, I would like to introduce Miss Susan Addison from the Oklahoma Blood Institute and our Student Council President, Kylie Say.
Good morning. My name is actually Jade Brown, and I work for our Blood Institute. We are ensuring that 95% of Oklahoma medical facilities have the blood supply that they need for local patients. This includes your Claremore Indian Hospital, Hillcrest Claremore, and Air Evac Claremore. Thank you for having me here today. I'd like to first acknowledge the first responders who are first there to make sure we have the response we need in times of need. I'd also like to acknowledge our special blood donors for being there in advance before there is even a need. It takes 3 days to test and process blood products to be available for unknowns. On 9/11, Oklahoma Blood Institute and blood donors took up the call and sent over 7,500 units to New York to help in the aftermath of 9/11. In fact, OBI was the primary blood supplier for 9/11. We were one of the only blood suppliers on flights. These were called the Angel flights during that time. I'd also like to acknowledge Claremore High School. That's the reason that I am here today, and the Claremore community for your excellence. Claremore High School, we're awarding you today with the 2023-2024 Class 5A High School Blood Drive Champions. And this is your championship banner. I want to quickly specifically call out that as a result of the high school students, this program, and the community, you all were responsible for 322 life-saving donations collected. For every donation, that's 3 lives able to be saved. That means 966 lives saved. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Addison. September 17th is the official Constitution Day. I would like to start out today by saying a few words about the Constitution of the United States. In May 1787, over 50 leaders of the new United States came together at Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Their purpose was to write a constitution. They agreed the Articles of Confederation, the first constitution they created, was not strong enough. The delegates wanted to form a more perfect union, but it took time before the delegates agreed on what powers to give the central government and what powers to reserve for the states. The delegates agreed that the central government needed 3 branches. Each branch would have a job to do. The branches would work together, but they would also act as checks and balances for the other branches. After much discussion, they decided they needed a president and a vice president to make up the executive branch. The legislative branch would be the Congress, made up of elected representatives from the states. The Congress was to work to make federal laws that were fair to all the states. The third branch was the judicial branch, the Supreme Court. The delegates realized they needed a way to change the Constitution laws as the nation developed. They devised a system of amendments. 10 amendments, called the Bill of Rights, were added to the Constitution. After the amendments were added, in May 1790, all 13 states ratified the Constitution. Today, we are here in remembrance of September 11th, 2001, by a joint resolution approved on December 18th, 2001. Congress designated September 11th of each year as Patriot Day. September 11th, 2001, a horrific day in our history. As you know, today will mark the 23rd anniversary of that cowardly terrorist attack on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and United Airlines Flight 93 in our country. We gather here today to pay tribute to the heroes and innocent victims who lost their lives on September 11th, 2001. We want the world to know that Claremore High School has not forgotten what happened on that terrible day. Although as students, we were not yet born. However, our parents, grandparents, and other family members have shared with us the tremendous heartbreak they felt on that day. They also told us of incredible bravery and sacrifices made by our police, fire, EMS, and military personnel, and we have witnessed that resilience of the American spirit ever since. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please direct your attention to the big screen? Company, attain, layup, haste, at ease.
When 9/11 happened, I was actually in corporate America. I worked as a software developer, and I worked for a company called Williams Energy. And Williams Energy actually worked out of a tower here in Tulsa, and that tower is a replica of the Twin Towers that were taken down. We were in the building, and somebody was like, hey, look at this, and they turned the television on because it had just happened, and so the television was relaying what had happened, so we saw the video. We were like, oh wow, that is a terrible accident. We're like, that's awful. And then when the second tower was struck, that's when we were like, oh, what is happening? And it was, I mean, it may have been, we were just in shock. Like we didn't respond. It was just, we were just in absolute shock. And then what happened is probably 10 or 15 minutes later, they said, we are evacuating the buildings, go home.
So on 9/11, when those events took place, I was away at college, and I was getting ready to walk into my sociology class when the news hit the news and our phones. So class was canceled at that time, and I remember going into the student center and just watching what was going on and what was happening. Then I went home to where I was living and just sat there and watched the next events unfold. And I remember just calling my parents and calling people back at home and trying to wrap my head around what this meant, what was happening. I remember being very scared about what was coming for our country during that time and what was going to be coming after that as we defended ourselves.
I was actually in college. I was at Connor State College in Warner, and I had an early morning computer class that we had the old school TVs that were in the corners. And our computer teacher found out that something had happened and turned on the news. So after the first plane had hit, that's when she turned on the news. And we actually watched the second plane, like live on television, hit the second one. So that was a little bit like, is this really happening? Like, what is this? It's kind of, you know, early in the morning, so I wasn't quite awake yet, but that woke us up pretty quickly, so it was a big shock. But we literally watched it live on television.
Well, for me personally, I was in a strange place. I was an Army reservist at the time. I was a combat medic, and my time of duty was actually coming to an end. I was at the inactive stage of my reserves, and so I was expecting to be called back up. I'd actually planned on going and saying, hey, I'm ready, and my wife informed me that we had a small child and I was to say nothing, and if they were going to release me, to take that release. America changed that day, and there really is an America before 9/11 and America after 9/11.
What I want students to understand is after that time, our country really came together, and the patriotism in the United States of America was unlike anything I had ever experienced as a kid.
I think it's important to remember some of the sacrifices that the heroes on the planes made to try to stop some of the attacks that actually would have happened that didn't. But also, it's kind of a reminder of we're all one nation. And sometimes we get divisive on some of the things that we argue about. So the thing to remember about 9/11, I think, is the positive part that came after that was, the unifying effect that it had on our people. And we don't need a tragedy to happen again for that kind of thing to take place. If we remember those things that remind us, hey, we're all together in this. We're all united under one flag. I think that's a really important thing to remember.
At ease. May we never forget, to the members of military, police, firefighters, and EMS personnel, past and present, we, Claremore High School, say thank you. Claremore High School, would you please stand and join me in giving our local heroes who work so hard to keep us safe a big round of applause. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, our high school choir.
Undimmed by human tears.
from sea to shining sea. Thank you, Mr. Dunekeen and our choir. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise once more for the playing of taps as we reflect on nearly 3,000 lives lost on September 11, 2001. Company, attain, hut! Company, present arms! Company, order, arms! Today, we reaffirm our support and allegiance to our country, our flag, and our Constitution through patriotism, service to others, and unity. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our Patriot Day and Constitutional Remembrance Ceremony. Thank you for joining us today. Company!